Greetings, my people. Greetings, my people. Today is January 5th, 2024. It's my first video of the year, I think. 5:02 p.m. on a Friday. And I entitled this, You Can't Live Vicariously Through Katt Williams. You must embody the truth. You must embody the truth yourself. And what I mean by that is, number one, first of all, salute and respect to Katt Williams. Um, Not because he's viral for the moment and the sensationalism surrounding it. No, that's not why I'm saluting him. For the balls, the guts to speak that way, to speak against those demons, to speak against those vipers, to speak against those oath takers, to speak against those deal makers in the fashion that he did. Extremely fearlessly. I salute you, bro. And the reason I say you can't live vicariously through him, because this is how this goes. We appreciate truth when it's outside, right? You appreciate Charleston White's truth. And I'm going to say this from my perspective. If you think what Charleston White is doing and what Katt Williams did is on the same level, you're sadly mistaken. Even if that was to come from Katt Williams' mouth, he would be sadly mistaken. Because Charleston White is a gimmick. He's a character. He's not being himself. He had to get to a certain position to speak like that and be a clown like that. What Katt Williams did was, he's been doing that since forever, right? And a lot of people can appreciate the truth from him, but a lot of people aren't willing to speak like that. And I'm going to say this, as a person that speaks uncompromisingly and fearlessly, listen, that is no easy task. It looks beautiful, it looks cool to the ones that hear it, but because number one, there's elitism at every level, right? Because we've got this thing all twisted. It's not about race per se. It is, but it isn't. It's not about politics per se. It is, but it isn't, because everything is political, first of all. Everything is political. What it's about is truth versus the lie. The exposers of the truth and the coverers of the truth. As the dude Kwame Brown said, the go along, get along game versus the ones that I don't hang in that game. Because what initially happens is, I don't care if you're in the conscious community, wherever that is. If you're in the African-centered community, wherever that is. It's pretty much the same thing. Just like, I give you an example. If we were to speak on Ron Karenga, or as they call him, Malana Karenga, which I refuse to acknowledge him, you're going to have half of the village that will say, he's not the guy who created Kwanzaa. You got to separate Kwanzaa from him. He ain't that. I don't think of him when Kwanzaa come up. Okay, but then at the same side of their mouth, they're telling the average people to get away from Christmas and all of these pagan holidays, right? Follow what I'm saying? But in the same token, that's what they say. We don't think of all of this stuff when we're celebrating Christmas. We don't think of a slaughter and a feast when we're celebrating Thanksgiving. We just want to celebrate with our family, right? Because I posted a quote that I made. I said, sanity leaves when the celebration starts, right? And that's a general. That was not for anybody particular in particular. You know, it's just like throwing a rock over the fence. And if, you know, you kind of hear, "Ow," somebody got hit. Um, there's this level of delusion, right? So when you speak very fearlessly, um, you're not liked much. You know, you're not liked much. Just like Monique, who's another one. She's labeled difficult to work with, difficult to deal with. Um, because again, you have to be fearless. Speaking these things, right? You have to be fearless, and for her to speak against those same vipers, that same pit of vipers, that same bed of hyenas, right? She's difficult to work with. Um, you know, here comes the mislabeling of the character. And whenever you're in a truth situation, whether you're a truth telling Christian, whether you're a truth telling Westerner or European or a white person, whether you're a truth, it's all the same to discredit your mentality, to paint you as this crazy person. Or if you're in let's say if you're in an African centered community or a conscious community, you're labeled as a person that keeps stuff up, right? Or you always got something going, right? But then we use words like intrepid. We use words like um vigilant. And vigilant, if I'm not mistaken, is just a watchful person. Somebody that's watching for danger or peril or however you want to use these words, right? And what's really sad and crazy is if you're vigilant, you're watching for danger. So that danger looks like people that are stealing. Um, my issue, I've been very vocal about Umar Johnson, who just continues to lie and stretch this thing about creating this school. And he don't have a school, first of all. That's an abandoned building. A school is a functioning, ran institution with children that attend every day. Now, school building is a different thing. So again, it's about the truth. When you're doing exactly what Katt Williams did, and some of the things he said, they cut. Much like Jaguar Wright. See, we have to give light to the truth speakers. Because what happens is it's lonely out there on that ledge, right? Because the vicarious, everybody can know what you're saying is correct, right? Everybody wants to agree with you. But that willingness, that fear of being tar and feathered, of being attached to four horses by each one of your limbs and ripped apart, that trauma still permeates in the blood of Black people, African people, Hebrew people, whatever people you want to call yourself, copper colored people, you. No matter how much you want to disassociate yourself from these things, these things happen to the consciousness of all people who look like this, right? And I'm nobody's savior, first of all. I'm nobody's savior. I'm not put here to save people. That's not me. I just know what I know, and I'm not stupid. And I refuse. You can be delusional all you want. You can call a man or woman. You can call Dwayne Wade's son Zaya all you want. You can call Bruce Jenner Caitlyn all you want. I'm not gonna be delusional with you, right? So I'm saying this to say is, what would happen if there were 10 Katt Williamses in the industry? If there was 10 of those voices in the conscious community, wherever that is. If there was 10 of those voices in the Christian community, right? if there was 10 of those voices in the music industry. Because again, it's not about this, it's about the truth. Yeah, people have their truth, and then there's the truth, right? And it's not something that you can get through osmosis. It's not something you can get by listening to somebody else and posting their views. What is your view on it? Even if you agree, right? That's not saying you can't share the content. But even if you agree, what is yours? Do you have the guts to speak against those pit of vipers like that? I can't answer that. I'm not here to judge and give nobody. See, because, we can use the scales of Mayat all we want. Because, see, this is where we live kind of double minded in a sense, right? We'll say, you're judging, you're being judgmental. No, the scales of Mayat are for judgment. Am I correct? You can't be judgmental and judge a person where their mind is. See, when he called out Ricky Smiley, I see Trick Daddy's upset. I see Ludacris comes out. Nobody's coming out to refute that, even though Ludacris in his thing is trying to downplay it. He said he's in a Illuminati, whatever that is. Everybody's upset. Reminds you of that Christian brother D1 when he simply told Rick Ross, Meek Mills, and I forget who the third person was, Jim Jones, to do better. Look at how all that brother said was do better than your influences, and look at how Jim Jones and Rick Ross responded. See, truth triggers demons because it has to shatter that glass ceiling of lie. It has to, you kind of cut that light on and you realize, ooh, that's not as pretty as I thought it was. This is really ugly. But I'm going to have to pretend again. Well, and then I always say rationality is a dangerous thing because it is, in my opinion, it's linked to delusion and a little bit of psychosis. Right? Whose opinion? My opinion. Right? You have to accept the truth for yourself. Not my truth. The truth. My truth is my truth. Nobody has to accept my truth but who? Me, because it starts with mine. I don't have to accept your truth because that's yours. That belongs to you. And everybody has their own divine right to have it. Right? But shout out to Katt Williams. Now they're offering prayers and all of this old corny stuff that Ricky Smiley will say. But he said something that stuck out to me when he said, and I'm paraphrasing a bit because I don't have it like verbatim, when he spoke on how Ricky Smiley loves to make fun of people with disabilities. That's his whole thing, right? That's funny, right? But we're talking about judging. We're talking about making people feel bad, right? But his whole majority of his content has always been making fun of people that walk funny, making fun of people with disabilities. Remember, I keep telling you, these are people that help shape narratives. This is why they're so important to accept or reject. The choice is yours. I've already made my choice. So again, I'm nobody's leader. I'm not influencing nobody to do anything. But it's mighty funny that it's funny. It's all brouhaha and it's key when you're creating characters like Little Daryl. When you're creating characters that walk, and I have cerebral palsy. You know what I'm saying? So imagine the shaping of the mind, because these help people with disabilities to look like you're not even deserving of life. You're incompetent. But that's funny, right? But he spoke truth. He said him and Tyler Perry couldn't play men if their lives depended on it, in a sense, right? Again, what's funny about black men always in dresses? Go back to Kevin Hart's movie with Will Ferrell, Get Hard. He's training him how to go to prison. And there's even a scene where he's training him to have to do a homosexual act. But this is comedy, right? Because they can always control you through your laughter, right? They can always control you through laughter. But that's funny, right? So if we're always laughing and we're always celebrating, when is the time to get serious? So, Brother Katt Williams, whether I agree with you here on out, I salute you for what you did. Because it's not always about agreeing with everybody. I have people that love me, but I have also people that can't stand me. And that's fine. Fine, not fine. That's fine. That's just fine. Because you have to embrace being not liked. You have to have the courage to be disliked. If everybody love you and propping you up and telling you your shit smell like strawberries, you have the wrong people around you, right? So I salute that brother, and I'm not gonna go on. I just want you to hit the likes, share this video, and I appreciate it. Peace.